In baseball, we've seen just about everything: no hitters, perfect games, four homer games, walk-off grand slams. But on April 23rd, 1999, something happened that might be the single rarest offensive moment in the history of Major League Baseball. Fernando Tatis Sr. hit two grand slams in the same inning off the same pitcher. It sounds like a typo, it sounds like a video game glitch, but it happened. And today we're going to answer a wild question. How impossible was that inning? Actually. Not just, wow, that was crazy. I mean mathematically. Before we even talk about grand slams, let's understand just how rare it is for a player to get two bases loaded plate appearances in the same half inning. The only way Fernando Tatis Sr. could have had a chance to hit those two grand slams. To have two bases loaded plate appearances in one inning, a few things have to happen. First, the team has to keep batting without making three outs, obviously. The lineup must cycle around far enough for the same hitter to come up twice. And both times that hitter comes up, the bases have to be loaded. That's already an incredibly unlikely combination. Thanks to MLB data research, we have real numbers. Between 1916 and 2022, there were 127 total instances in Major League history where a batter came to the plate twice in the same inning with the bases loaded. And since Tatis's famous game in 1999, there have been 38 such situations in roughly 1 million half innings of MLB play. Let's put that in context. With 38 of these situations happening in roughly 1 million half innings, that gives us a 0.000038 or 38 millionths chance of the same player getting two bases loaded appearances in the same half inning. And a modern MLB season has 43,740 half innings, not counting any extra inning games, obviously. Multiply that 38 millionths chance by 43,740 innings, and we get the odds of a batter getting two bases loaded plate appearances in the same inning at 1.66 times per MLB season. Now, that's just one piece of this nearly impossible feat. Let's talk about the odds of hitting a grand slam. Even with the bases loaded, most hitters don't hit a grand slam. League-wide, only about 3.18 out of every 100 bases loaded plate appearances end in a grand slam. That means if you come up with the bases loaded, 97% of the time you don't hit one, and only 3% of the time you do. So now Tatis is up for his first bases loaded at bat. He beats the odds. Grand slam. Already a huge moment. But now he comes up again with the bases loaded, and the odds stack up on top of each other. To hit two grand slams in two chances, you multiply 3.18% by 3.18%, which gives you just over 0.1%. That's basically a 1 in 1,000 chance. So even if a hitter gets two bases loaded at bats in an inning, hitting two grand slams is a 1 in 1,000 shot on top of that. Now, here's where this just becomes ridiculous. Remember, the two bases loaded chances setup happens about 1.66 times per season, and the two grand slam success rate is about 1 in 1,000. So to get the probability of the full event, we multiply the odds of each individual event discussed so far. 1.66 average times per season of two bases loaded at-bats for the same player in the same inning times 1 out of 1,000 odds of hitting two grand slams gives us about 0.0017 or 17/10,000ths odds of both happening. So when are we going to see this happen again? To calculate the odds of a lottery ticket type moment like this, the rule of thumb for calculating the expected wait time is dividing 1 by the probability of the event. So in this case, we would divide 1 by the 0.0017 chance of the Tatis event happening in a single MLB season, which comes out to just over 588 seasons. You're not imagining things. That means you could expect this to happen about once every 600 seasons. Not every 600 games, 600 years. Major League Baseball has existed for about 150 seasons, and it's happened exactly once. Now, just because it could happen once every 600 or so seasons doesn't mean it will happen. Think about rolling a die and waiting for a 6. The odds of rolling a 6 are 1 in 6, but the possibility exists for you to roll 10, 20, or even 100 times in a row and never get a 6. But in the same instance, you could roll 2 6s in a row. While there is the possibility for this to happen again, I think baseball has changed to the point where the two grand slams in one inning by the same player miracle will never happen again. Modern baseball just makes it even harder for the stars to align. Pitchers get pulled faster, bullpens come in earlier, and fewer innings spiral out of control. And if a pitcher gives up a grand slam today, he's probably gone before the same batter comes up again. That's why what Tatis did was the perfect storm. A pitcher left in for too long, an inning that refused to end, and a hitter who caught lightning twice. Everything had to line up, and it did. Only one time. Fernando Tatis Sr., he hit 40 plus homers, about a 1 in 100 chance. The real flex is the fact he created a moment that math itself basically says shouldn't exist. 2 grand slams, same inning, same batter, a 1 in 600 seasons event. And unless baseball changes completely, we may never see it again.